Hello, everyone, and welcome. Very sad to let you know that I am on my own today. So, normally, oh, look how small I got. Normally, I do the show with Laura, and today I've only got like a short while that I can spend with you because I've got to take my child for a hospital appointment. And Laura was supposed to be popping in for a very short time as well because she's on her way to an event. But Laura's event takes a lot of preparation. So she ended up not being able to make it. Whereas for me to sort of take my child to a blood test is sort of a pretty straightforward process. So I'm going to be spending just a short, maybe 25 minutes with you. And I have a topic exactly about this. Some of us see December coming in with, with everything that it involves and, with how over the top December can be. And we decide to take a step back and slow things down. Oh, I don't even know what happened there. So some of us see December and decide to slow things down. And some of us, without naming names, but definitely Laura, see December coming and say yes to absolutely every booking and every opportunity. So I wanted to see if we divide by star signs. So if you guys want to share your star sign and say whether you're a December overdoer or a December, chiller. So let's see who's with us today. Just in case you don't want, sorry, for the person trying to convert us in the comments, I'm sorry that you're going to be banned. There we go, banned. But just in case you don't know the show, just in case you're new to the channel, this channel is esoteric. So we touch on all the different aspects of the mystical world, everything that is unseen. I'm a psychic and a witch, so that's what I bring to the table. Bit of astrology, bit of tarot. We also have programs that are connected with the afterlife. We have programs around Bigfoot sightings, and we also have programs around church beliefs. So really a little bit of something for everyone, and everybody's welcome. Today we've got Nikki Cameron joining us from her Facebook account. So if you're watching us on Facebook, and I think if you're watching us on YouTube as well, you might be watching us across, like on landscape, or you might be watching us down on like portrait mode. That's like a new thing that the program here does. We have a fabulous message from Erica that says Bigfoot. Yes. So you can tell by the name of the channel. It's not like we keep it a secret. You can tell by the name of the channel that we are interested in everything that is mysterious. So Grizzly, who runs the channel, we actually have a message from him at the top, is a Bigfoot hunter. And he goes around the country for sort of Bigfoot sightings. He also does like ghost hunts. Very, very interesting stuff. If this is at all fascinating for you, make sure you subscribe to the Bigfoot Outlaw channel. So right now, I don't know where you're exactly watching. You could be watching us on my Inbaal Facebook. You could be watching us on Bigfoot official Facebook. You could be watching us on the LinkedIn that's connected. Could be watching us on my Instagram. But this is available for everybody. So make sure that you go and subscribe specifically to the Bigfoot Outlaw stuff, because if this is curious for you, you'll find lots of things. Spawn who knows everything. I hope that you like that nickname that I have for you. It's Spawn that knows everything. Saying blessings in bar and chat. I hope you're all having a good day. Everybody's doing well. Everyone is coping. And Pete is saying hi. Is that a hello thing? So I'm asking you, Erica, Spawn, Pete, are you guys December lovers or December haters? And how does that work, do you think, with your star sign? So I'm a Pisces, absolutely adore December. I love the magic of it. I love how, how everything is glittery, how everything's sort of geared at people that love the unusual, how everything is a little different to all the other times. I love sort of going into shops, banks, all of those sort of very non-glittery locations, and finding I think Pete sent me a planet emoji, and seeing how everybody's sort of excited about it. So it appeals to my Pisces side because Pisces are very about like dreams and illusions. And we have a hello from El Gregorio Lorenzo, right? Hi. And it appeals to the illusion side of Pisces because everything is kind of magical. Tiabia is saying, I'm dating a Pisces. Funny story, Tiabia. So I'm a Pisces. My husband is a Pisces, and we have 4 children, and 3 of them are Pisces. So I kind of feel like I have a PhD in Pisces. There's 1 Capricorn in the house, thankfully, 1 adorable Capricorn. And then, Tia, what's your star sign? Are you guys compatible? And Lorenzo is saying, what's today's topic? So I thought it would be fun to have a look at how people react to December, whether they adore it or whether they hate it. And I wanted to see whether it's connected with the star sign. So Laura, who normally does the show with me, she is an Aries. Going into December, instead of winding down, she takes on like more and more work. She's got lots of events going. She's a psychic and an artist. So she's going to like art shows and presenting her stuff. She's done like the witches market. She's doing like psychic events. So are you a December lover or a December hater? So Tia is saying she's a Scorpio. So Scorpio and Pisces, really interesting because obviously they're both water signs. So in however it comes like with the emotional aspect, sorry, it looks like wine is a soft drink. It's like 11:45 in the afternoon now. Well, in the morning, I guess. So both Pisces are water signs, and it means that emotionally driven, emotionally motivated, you're very in your feelings. But Pisces is very dreamy and wants to expect the best from everybody. And Scorpio is quite realistic, quite a realist. So if a Pisces would say, I love you and I adore you and I love you forever, and the Scorpio would be like, how do you know? How do you know you love me forever? Because they have like a sarcastic side to them, which is the sting in the tail. But both are quite mystical sides. I'm going to go back to the previous questions first, but I actually have an incredible question here from Lorenzo who says, and you have no idea how you asked the right person. How did you find a partner that accepts your spiritual side? That's such a good question because my partner's an accountant. And we had to like register all my kids in the hospital the other day, and so the doctor sort of entering all the details, and she was like, what do you do? And I thought I'll just skip by it and I go, I'm self-employed, don't want to get into a big conversation, right? And she goes, what do you do when you're self-employed? And I said, I read tarot. She was like, really? And she's looking a bit skeptical, after all, as a doctor. And then she goes to me, and what does your husband do? And I go, accountant. And I was like really proud. I was like, I'm not completely nuts. The child has an accountant dad. But when I met my partner, so I met him online. I met him in the early days of internet dating. And I was super open about what I do. And he was super open about the fact that he doesn't believe. And it was never a real thing for us. It was never like an issue. My ex-partner, I've had like 2 partners before. One was a Christian, like his dad was a priest. So that ex coped with it just fine because his ex was also a working psychic. So that was funny. And then another partner I had, he was a witch as well. So there was nothing to bridge. But actually with my husband, it was very curious that we ended up together. And I guess because we're both Pisces, it's less of an issue. Tia says, yes, I'm very sarcastic. Yeah, I love that about Scorpios. They have this like dry sarcasm, right? It's not like sarcastic, like ha ha ha. It's like this dry, this like real cutting sarcasm. Oh, there we go. And Lorenzo, sorry, forgive me if I call you Lorenzo. I sort of picked between the names and I thought I love that one. Saying, I just discovered I'm a Pisces moon in draconian astrology. And he adds, I hate Pisces. My parents were a delusion, the irony of draconian astrology. That really is ironic. I think it is ironic because my mom was an Aquarian. She's not alive anymore. My mom was an Aquarian. And I have Aquarian, Mercury in Aquarius, and Venus in Aquarius. And it's like, I don't want to grow to become her, but I can see that in me as well. So I totally get the irony. And Pete is an Aquarius. So are you a December lover or a December hater? Tia the Scorpio says, I love December. So you must have something of the magic. Oh, we've got a question here. So Tia Bia 80 says, I'm curious. I'm reaching for my cards. If you're curious, I have tarot. Are you able to see if I've conceived this month? I've been trying. Okay, if you don't be able to answer, just curious if your cards could pick it up. It's one of my favorite things to see. So let's have a look. Did Tia Bia conceive this month or not quite? And when? This month you have not conceived. You know when I've got you conceiving? Christmas Day. So I hope the 2 of you are left alone for Christmas Day. I'm seeing that you got very close, but you kind of missed your perfect days by 1 day. So you've got like your 3 perfect conception days and you went too early. It says that your Scorpio nature also has this, I don't want to call it negative side, but you try not to raise your hopes too high, right, Tia? So you expect less in order to not be disappointed. And what it shows me is that you need to put that kind of protective personality to one side. And instead of saying, it doesn't matter to us, it doesn't matter if it happens, if it doesn't happen, instead of saying that, say to yourself, I would love to feel pregnant. I would love to feel my stomach growing. I would love to get like the cravings. I really want to grow a teeny tiny human in my tummy. And if you approach it from, I guess, a less Scorpio vibe and a more kind of, a more Pisces vibe, a more like welcoming vibe, it'll happen for you. But I see it happening. What it says here, it didn't literally say Christmas Day, but it showed that it happens at the very, very start of Capricorn season within a few days in. So Capricorn season starts 21st, 22nd of this month, very soon. And you conceive a few days into it. So Christmas Day looks to me the most likely day because it shows the 2 of you together and like looking nice and everything. But it could also be if you have like nice days out or like parties just before, just after. So you will have to come and tell me. Lorenzo says, I struggle with that because my Saturn return is close. I think I'm not far from my Saturn return as well. So are you 26 years old? Or because I'm going to be 52. So that's kind of when the Saturn return starts to come. Oh no, it's more like 29, 28. But when the Saturn return arrives, so just to explain to anyone that doesn't know all the ins and outs of the astrology side, Saturn is a planet of kind of destruction and rebuild. And Saturn takes around 30 years to go all the way around so that it'll be in the same place where it was when we were born. So when you're born, you've got like your whole star chart, you've got where your sun is, where your moon is, where the different planets are, and then you've got where Saturn is. And the next time that you'll meet Saturn in the exact same place, that is your Saturn return. So it'll be around a little before age 30. So that's really when people go into their adulthood. And it can be again around sort of a little before age 60. And that's when people go into, I suppose, the third age. And then if you're lucky enough to get close to 90, then you've got the next sort of Saturn return. When Saturn return comes, it is a destruction and a rebuild. It will be losing a job, coming out of a marriage, having to give up a house that you lived in for a long time, that kind of stuff. So it is a struggle, but it's also like a necessary evil in order to step into the next, into the next stage in life. And Tia says, my Jupiter is in Aquarius and Mars is Libra. What a chilled out person. So the Jupiter in Aquarius is really interesting because Jupiter is the planet of like wealth and luck, and Aquarius is like a humanitarian sign, prefers to give things to other people. So Tia, even if you ended up in like an incredibly well-paid job, God willing, and even if you found yourself winning like huge amounts on the lottery, you'd be like, I wonder who I can support. Now I can give more to charity. And then the Mars in Libra is really interesting because the Mars is the planet of like, being explosive. And especially as a Scorpio, you're governed by Mars. But Libra is so calm, doesn't want to get in an argument, doesn't want to fight. So you've got real contradictions. You would be sort of quite a complicated person to try and explain, but they're very like chilled out contradictions. And Lorenzo says, I like you, Tide, for the ritual. Oh, I love that you enjoy the ritual part of it, so that it's not just the, not just the sparkles, like me. Spawn says, I love autumn and winter, especially when nature displays its color changes, when the forest turns from green to golden brown and the early morning frosts that coat everything, with the colors. So where I am on the Pennines, my daughter sort of came downstairs this morning and she said, you didn't see the sunrise. It was really, really pink. And she showed me a picture she took from her window. And I said to her, you didn't see sunset. The sunset was really, really pink as well. So we've got like colors going on like you wouldn't believe it. Pete Blackburn says Pisces dreamers. Absolutely. Pisces dreamers. They daydreamers. Tia says very true. Lorenzo says, not to butt in. You're not butting in. This is, it's for all of us. But you can use the moon to know when to conceive. AstroSeek has a fertility calculator to time it well. So you like your kid. So what you can use the moon for as well it's it's a theory, let's call it a theory, but you can also sort of use it when trying to conceive like specifically a boy or a girl. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we took a long time sort of conceiving each child, so a complex time in the life of a couple. Mark says, good morning, Inbaal. I can't see Laura. Hope she's okay. And of course, you and yours okay. I'm late, don't ask. Hello, everyone else. Hope that you're all good. Yeah, so I'm only staying for another couple of minutes because I've got to pick V up for a blood test. And so Laura was going to come for a very, very quick show as well, because she's got to drive to Bristol to take the train because she's got an event going on. Long story short, Laura ended up not being able to make it because she had a lot of preparations. I have no preparations, although I'm here and my jeans are over there. But no, no complex preparations. So yeah, so I'm only here for a couple more minutes. Tia says, they're amazing. Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure. Lorenzo says, the positive of being a Pisces so far is embracing the mysticism and artsy vibe, because I was a very logical Virgo. I had to parent those delusional folks. Do you know what? My father is a Virgo, and I think Virgos are amazing people. But embracing the artsy side really is at the heart of the Pisces. Tia says, I'll definitely let you know. I will look forward to it. Incredible. So I'm so sorry, you guys, that I've got to cut the whole story short today. I'm going to be here with Laura for a full-size show, touch wood, hopefully. Same time next week. Thank you so much for enjoying and sharing with me over this short little diminutive show, and I will see you soon.